everyone, good to see you again. Thanks for checking this video out. I am Rich. You're watching Six String Fun, so I really do appreciate you watching the channel, watching the videos, everything that I have going on here. Gonna stay in the 90s a little bit again with this, with some of the songs I've been doing. Acoustic guitar arrangements. This tune, full band situation or just acoustic, it works well. I think either way. It was probably written on an acoustic guitar, the way it just flows. But it's by Matchbox 23 AM. We've played this tons of times in all different bands. Full band, acoustic, so it lends itself to really almost any situation. Everybody knows it. I guess it was 95-ish it came out, I guess, if I had to remember correctly, right around that time frame. But pretty straightforward. I guess if you want to say what key it's in the key of G sharp, I guess, because of the capo. If there's no capo, you'd be playing it up here in G, but, we're going to go up, a whole step, I should say a whole fret, which is a half step here. Again, the capo's on here because that's just how the song was written. I don't have it on there for any other reason other than that. Pretty straightforward, basic chords, G. Again, I'm going to be referring to these chords in the shape, not in the actual key, because it'll kind of just get weird. But I'll refer to everything as, the G shape, C shape, D, E minor shape, just so you know what you're doing there. Even though it's not the same key, it's just easier for learning that way. So we'll just take a look at it and I'll show you how I play it. Okay, so 3 AM by Matchbox 20. Let's take a closer look at this. Pretty straightforward in terms of, the chord shapes. Again, capo is on the first fret, so this is going to be relative basically to being our nut. So, that's open, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So we're going to just call out the chord shapes as they are. So, this is not a G, but it's a G shape. So really the chords we're using throughout the course of the song is a G, a C add 9, D, and there's an E minor in there. Okay, again, these are all chord shapes, not the tones, but just the shapes. So here's how I've been playing it for quite a few years now. We're going to start off on the G, and then we move to the C add 9. So it's... So what did I do there? I start off on the G. So it's a G. These two fingers come off, and I'm hammering back on from the E and the A string just to the A and the D string. Now at this point I'm assuming you know your chords, so that way you know how to fret these. So I'm not going to go into how to do it, but this is how I end up playing it. Right? What's that right I'm playing? I'm playing an open D, hammering on to the second fret, open G. Second time. And all I'm going to do here is just pick right up the strings. That's basically it for that intro. Oop. So that's the G to the C add 9 is just what we do before we hit the first verse. Okay, do that a few times. Now, this is the part I don't always nail, so I just try to give it the illusion that I'm kind of hitting all these notes, but it's basically a 5-note pattern with 2 hammers. Doing here is open A hammer, open D hammer on the second fret for both of those, and then an open G. When the verse starts, we're going into the D. So it's a D. So we strum it, and then I'm going to go sus2, picking that open E string and hammering. Back to that C add 9, but I'm taking my pinky off so that open E, okay? And then back to that original hammer. Open D to 2, G. So let me just play that first part of the verse for you. All right, so again, back to that G to the C, and the verse just continues. Here's where it changes a little bit up. I think it's the 4th time for each time in the verse. You start with that D. You play the D again. But this time, keeping everything fretted, you're going to hammer your pinky onto the high E. So it's right. I'm picking that C shape, I'm just starting on that the 5th string. So it's a lot of just arpeggiating these chords instead of strumming. So if you're not strumming, you're just picking. Okay? And that's your verse for the most part. I know it's kind of tricky. This isn't something you give a beginner to do, so a little more on the advanced side. But if you know your chords, and you can pick and arpeggiate these chords. You've got this. The verse, the chorus, very simple. It's going to be G. So what am I doing there? G, D, C, D. Right, so that part right there, very simple. Just kind of playing some simple chords there. When it transitions, it goes to an E minor, to a D, to that C add 9. And then we go back into the hammer. We're repeating what we just did already. That's really it. So you're gonna again, really, and there's a lot going on there, but that, again, if you can't play the hammers or the arpeggiating, just strum it. So it's pretty straightforward if you can do it that way. Okay. So now we've done the verse, we've done the chorus. We're going to go back into another verse and another chorus. And then there's a bit of a breakdown there. So if we're coming out of the second chord. So what are we doing here? So again, coming out of it, that C add 9. And you're just, you're just picking, you're arpeggiating the chords. And then back to that hammer on the D string to the G. Do that a few times, and then you go back into that like the intro basically. But the dynamics have changed a little bit. You're just kind of bringing it down a little bit. It's the same patterns. You're just kind of playing with the dynamics a little bit more, okay? So you can do that a few times. Now coming out of that last one, I think the part is, but outside it starts raining. But outside it keeps raining. Yeah, she says. So all you're doing there is you're coming to the D, to the C add 9, and you're just hitting that. Chorus. chorus. Right? And then back. So you're going to do that 2 times at the end there, and then you're going to land. Song goes out from there. So, you know, if you can strum it, there's a lot happening there, but if you can arpeggiate it, a lot happening there as well too. So give it a shot. Let me know your thoughts. It is quite involved, so hopefully it helped you out, but if not, you can just kind of strum it as well. That's really it. So again, thanks for checking the video out. Really do appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.